We're going.
Yes.
We are going. Well, hello to one and all. This is Dr. Narc. You see my brand new t-shirt. We like to make fun of the narc here, at least I do. And it's not only fun and entertaining, and the narc deserves it, but it takes away their power to mock the narc. And so I like doing it, and I will continue to do so. With my t-shirts and my words, welcome to our live stream, and welcome to those of you who are watching the replay. I want to start today by thanking you for the freedom stories that many of you have sent in. Man alive. And it's just been awesome. Absolutely awesome. There is life. In fact, a much better life after the narc. Now, it's brutal getting out. There's no question about that. But getting divorced from a narc, which is what you're going to have to do, but it's worth it. It's always, always, always worth it. Got some folks coming in. Good. Now, you can find these freedom stories on my website under Freedom Stories, davideclarkphd.com. That's Clark with an E. I think you'll find them very encouraging, very motivating, and very hopeful. And that's what we're going for. We have scores and scores of stories that we'll be posting to encourage those of you that are in the process of getting out. We can all help each other in this community to get these abused spouses, whether it's a man or a woman, out. Getting the heck out and away from the narc. Also, you can talk to me about your abusive marriage. Many people are doing that. I do phone sessions every day, 4 or 5 sessions a day. People calling in from even out of the country, in the U.S., across the states. 45 minutes where I can get the background and give you a plan of action. Often I'll confirm that you are living with the narc. It's important to know that that's what is happening. If it's not happening, I'll tell you that. I have other books for you, but if that is happening, I've got the books for you. So I'll explain it on the website. And really, wherever you are in your marriage, whatever crisis you're facing, I've got a book for you. Now, today, very exciting news. It's always exciting when Dr. Clark is speaking, but today, even more so, we're launching my brand new online video series called The Freedom from Your Narc Journey. Phil Dugas of Dugas Creative. And if you need a website, if you need social media, he's the man for you. Well, we've compiled I've done a ton of videos, as you know, TikTok, of course, YouTube, podcasts as well. He has compiled these into a tremendous video package that we're calling The Freedom from Your Narc Journey. And this video series is a good, solid, I think, excellent overview of the entire process of escaping from your narc. From codependency, which is often where you start, thinking, I can't leave, I don't have the strength, I've lost my voice, what am I going to do for money, all those questions, believing lies, all the way through to divorcing the narc and beyond in terms of even healing from the divorce recovery. And it includes 25 videos, of course, of me, and over 4 hours of content. We're not stinting on this. And I think for a very reasonable price. We are not trying to gouge people here at the ministry. No, we're not. Now, this series contains key insights and information from my 4 books on the escape process. Let me just basically summarize these. And really, the video series is what I call a strategic summary of each one of these books, which take you all the way through the process. I'm not going to be one of those guys that says, well, you have to get out, and not tell you exactly how to get out. Building your strength, tackling the lies of codependency, and then all the way through the divorce process and beyond. Let me cover these just briefly. We got some folks coming in here. Very good. Okay, we got somebody thanking me for my message during my separation with the father of my children. Boy, look at that, 50 grand in court fees. For heaven's sake, these dirtball, they will drag you, them and their sleazeball lawyers will drag you through the mud and cost you a fortune. But you know what? You're out, and she's out. Good, she's refusing to go back. Good. I'll tell you this. If you're foolish enough to go back, and many have, and you know what, God love you, just reverse course and get out again. But if you leave a narc and they woo you back, love bombing, I'm so sorry, just how to present it in terms of repentance, in quotes, you go back, it'll be worse than it ever was before, and you'll have to leave again. But this lady's on her way out. Let me cover these just briefly. And again, the videos will cover these very, very succinctly. But 20 lies that keep you with your abuser. This is my book on codependency. If you're stuck in codependency, this is the book for you. Subtitle: Reclaiming Your Identity, Your Worth in Christ, and Your Freedom. The lies that your parents taught you, that the Christian community feeds you on a regular basis. 95% of churches, in my experience, are feeding you lies about the abusive relationship you're in. It's your fault. You have to love him, on and on and on. They don't care about you. They just want you to stay married while you're being destroyed, you and your kids. And of course, the narc is burying you in lies, shoving them down your throat every single day. This will get you strong enough to begin your preparations to leave. So that's 20 lies. Then we reach the next stage, which is Enough is Enough, the book that Moody Publishers published before they knew what it was really about. I'm kidding. They've been very supportive. They may not like these other books, I don't know, but they certainly like this one, and praise God for them. A step-by-step plan to leave an abusive relationship with God's help. This is the biblical support for leaving a narc. And there's all kinds of biblical support to leave a narc. In fact, there is no biblical support for staying with the narc. There isn't. You don't have to graduate from 2 seminaries like I have to know that, but these clueless nitwit pastors and church leaders and theologians, they don't have a clue. The fact is, it is taught in the Bible very clearly with clear language in terms of getting away from a narc. And we also have examples. In fact, I'm going to read. You want a great description? Great description of a narc, of an abusive narc. It's right here in the Bible. God knows, he knows everything. Listen to this. 2 Timothy 3, verses 1 through 5. Paul, of course, talking to Timothy, but mark, and it was important enough to put in the Bible, and it applies today. But mark this, Paul says, there will be terrible times in the last days. Now, these are the last days too, I think, but that's a different topic. People will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, without love, unforgiving, slanderous, without self-control. Sound familiar? Brutal, not lovers of the good, treacherous, rash, conceited, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God. And listen to this, having a form of godliness, but denying its power. These people, these narcs, masquerade in church, and they're loved by the entire Christian community. They're lying their heads off behind clothes. You go home with that guy, different story. Okay, what's the punchline here? What does Paul say? Well, try to love them back and try to understand that they had a bad childhood and it's probably your fault. He says nothing like that. What he says is very simple. Have nothing to do with them. In other words, get away from that person because you know what? They're not going to change. Not these monsters. So that's enough is enough. Clear teaching. And if you want an example from the Bible, God wants to make this so clear. He has specific teaching like this, and many other areas you'll find in the Enough is Enough book, but also we have examples. God wants to make it so clear it's ridiculous. Read 1 Samuel 25, Abigail and Nabal, and you tell me what that means. Theologian after theologian either skips it or spiritualizes it. It is the story of God saving an abused woman. Period. End of story. These are the same Nimrods that think that the Song of Solomon isn't about romance, love, and sex. It absolutely is. That is what the Bible teaches. You want to read the book of Esther? You're going to find out more. Another great example of God literally saving not just Esther, but the entire Jewish people, the community in that country. Why? Because he loved her and she asked for help. She had 2 narcissists she was dealing with, Esther, King Xerxes, and that dirtball Haman. God still saved her. So then we move on. This is not only why you can leave biblically, and God wants you to. He's not just like okay with it. He wants you to if you're married to a monster of a narc, but also exactly how to do it, step by step, the preparations you need to take to get out. May take you months. That's okay. You'll get it done. And again, I'm talking about these books, but and you can buy the books, and I hope you do. But the video series is it covers it in a different way in the video format, which is really more attuned to today's world. You may buy the books too, but I think this will help you. And then, of course, Escaping Your Narcissist, my latest book, What to Expect When You Divorce a Narc. Not many Christian psychologists, frankly, have the guts or the willpower to actually say, yeah, divorce your narc. I'll do it. If I hear from you in a phone advice session that you're being destroyed, that you're being shredded to pieces, that your kids are suffering, they're being turned against you, that your health is shredded, your emotional health is gone, your relationship with God is in tatters, yeah, I'll tell you, yeah, pull the trigger. I won't just tell you that. I will explain exactly what the divorce process is going to be like with a NARC, and it's going to be a nightmare. You need to have this field manual to get through, very laid out specifically. No Christian publisher, I guarantee you, would touch this book with a 10-foot pole. You know what? Who cares? 100-foot pole. Don't need them. Don't care. We're doing, hopefully, God's work here, and he's blessing us. We're doing our own thing. And then finally, you've been through the whole process. You've gotten strong enough with the 20 Lies book. You're out of codependency. You've got a voice. You've got yourself back. You've prepared to leave. You know it's what God wants you to do. And you have pulled the trigger and you've gotten through the divorce process. Okay, now you have to do some healing. Learn how to manage the ex and deal with your kids, adults or younger kids, and also get a reset in your life and heal. Well, that's why I wrote this book. I didn't want a divorce. Now what? Now keep in mind this new video series, The Freedom from Your NARC Journey, which is available on my website, nowhere else, like anybody else would carry it, but it's something that I think can make a huge difference. Again, 25 videos, over 4 hours of material. We are not stinting on this. I think it's like 60, it's under $70. Look, that is a deal, I'm telling you. And I think very helpful to you. So this new video series will really encapsulate strategically all 4 of these books, the entire escape process from a NARC. I think it's especially good for someone who's just beginning the process. No matter where you are in the process, I think the video series will help. However, but if you're you know someone, or you're at the start of this process and feeling overwhelmed, and I could never, and what's this guy talking about, and there's no way. Okay, it will help that person to see that there's hope, and you're going to be able to get out. There are strategic plans. I'm not just on a cliff yelling, "Get away from him!" You're not going to jump off and hope there's nothing down there but water. Look, I'm going to help you do it. So you're going to get from this video series solid information, practical strategies, motivation to act, encouragement, confidence, and hope. And that's why we've put this video series together. So check it out. I think you'll find it very, very helpful at a very reasonable price. Again, everything on the website, davideclarkphd.com. Very good. Well, let's see what's going on the TikTok as well as the Facebook. And we'll see what's happening. Okay, my NARC is a functional alcoholic, gambles, and there's more to it. Talked to a lady just today, living with an alcoholic, won't stop drinking, abusive, rages, out of control, physically abuses her and the kids. I said, get the heck away from him. Now, it's going to take some time. She's codependent. Okay, we're going to start with a 20 Lies book. All right, but let's start a process. He's been to rehab several times. I wouldn't waste another dime on rehab. I said, don't ask him ever again to stop drinking. Who the heck cares? What you're going to do is prepare your kids, and you're going to get away from him. That is emotional abuse. Okay, it's a disease. My point is, she actually said that, well, but it's a disease. I said, who cares? I don't care what he's got. He's destroying you. And he will not stop drinking. AA has changed literally millions of lives. Celebrate recovery. Look, choose your recovery program. He's not going to do it. Oh, I like this from Megan. She's got good taste. 20 Lies, fantastic book. Enough is enough. Fantastic book. Look, is this the blonde saying these things? It's not. No. Good for you. All right. And she likes, I didn't want to divorce. She likes that too. And she'll be getting the Escaping the NARC book, yes, next. Well, very good. Well, thank you, Megan. I appreciate that. You know what? I think you're right. What can I tell you? I think they're helpful. I'm not a beautiful writer like Max Lucado. Look, those of you that have read my books or see my videos know that. I'm just blunt. I'm edgy. I'm to the point. But you know what? I think that's what's required in this situation. I'm not going to beat around the bush. Okay. Yeah, nothing has changed in 6 months. Right. This lady, I think, has given the NARC a chance. Okay, no change. Yeah, these guys will live the rest of their lives. They'll even stay married to you as you slowly die, and they'll never change, and they could care less because it's not their fault. Yeah. Oh, my NARC called me stupid today for asking for help for a few hours because she takes care of her 3 small children full time. What a dirt ball. Oh, then he slammed the fridge door and walks out. You know what? Speaking of the fridge, I wouldn't make another meal for that narc the rest of my life. He can have TV dinners. Nobody cares. That's disgraceful. You know what? And I wouldn't ask him for help anymore either. Literally, I've had people, because the narc treats you that bad. How dare you ask the father of your children for help with them? He has no clue what it's like raising kids. And frankly, the less time with that narc, the better. You find family, you find friends, you find church people. Literally, if you're going out for the night, you're going to spend a few hours, you don't even ask him for help, nor do you may inform him someone's coming over to the house and going to be taking care of the kids. You can stay in the back bedroom. He'll have a fit because it'll make him look bad, too stinking bad. Take it out of his hands. You don't submit to a man like that. Oh, here's a parent that's a narc and feels entitled to this lady's money. Oh my goodness. And she just got diagnosed with depression. Y'all bet you did. You know what? That's your money. It's your money, not your parents' money. Now, you to honor your parents. If they're a narc, that's pretty hard to do. But you can actually honor the narc parent by having boundaries and clear limits and actually cutting them off. It gives them a chance to change, not that they will. No, it's your money. He's got control of the money I barely eat. Oh, for heaven's sake. Jackie, you need to get out. You need to take the steps, especially in the enough is enough, but maybe start with 20 lies and get away from him. Let's see what's happening on TikTok over here. Oh, this happens a lot. I guess I left the narc and found more narcs. Oh man, they're everywhere. There are Christian ministries, you'd know if I told you, that think there aren't that many narcs out there. And they're so scared that people like me are gonna act like there's so many narcs and gonna have ladies leave when they're not narcs. That's ridiculous. They're everywhere and they're destroying lives. If in fact you've left and you're dating or married to another narc, okay, God understands. You're gonna have to get stronger. You're gonna have to leave that one too. You don't have to stay because it's your second or third marriage. Don't do that. You can still get out. I'm working on a book right now that should be out in the fall, calling it Stop Feeling Guilty for Your Divorce. Whether it was your fault or not, women especially, and some men tend to feel very guilty for the divorce. No, God is so gracious and loving. He's not going to hold you and force you to stay in a marriage that's destroying you and your kids. He won't do that. God hates abuse. He absolutely does. You read Malachi 2. He loathes the men that were abusing their wives back in that day, and the same thing is true today. They're going to have a very rude awakening when they die, and maybe even before they die. Exactly. God does not want you to be in an abusive relationship. I used to waste my time talking to pastors and church leaders and even Christian counselors who wanted to convince me that every marriage can be saved and that the marriage is more important than the individual person that's being abused. They wouldn't even call it abuse. I would say, what are you, out of your mind? Not every marriage needs to be saved. There are marriages, plenty of them, that need to end because there's abuse and there's narcissism. Oh, they don't want to go there. I can't make that decision. Well, sure you can. God, in effect, has already made it in the Bible because he tells you that's sin and to get away from that person. Yeah, preparation is key, says Jan. She's exactly right. You don't just leave. Unless you're in a massive crisis and he's abusive physically, or some crisis comes up, you know what? You have to take steps of preparation, secret steps. That's why I wrote Enough is Enough. The whole thing is a secret. He knows nothing. You're developing your team. You're getting stronger. You're getting a voice. You're getting your own separate bank account. You're getting trained. You're getting a job, whatever it takes. And then you're getting the kids ready, and then you can leave. Yeah, you don't just leave. And there are organizations you can call on. Very often in your local area, there'll be a domestic violence center or a women's center. These may be secular organizations. That's fine because they will understand what you're going through and they will talk with you and they'll provide practical help, even legal services and a place to live if you need that and training. So use those resources. You may not get them at your church. So many churches will turn a blind eye. Too bad, sweetheart. You're going to have to just hang in there. Let's do some marriage counseling with a church pastor who has 2 courses in seminary on counseling. You don't do that. I wouldn't see a professional like me. Waste of time. Waste of time. Yeah, my covert ex thinks he's a great Christian man and talks about when he gets to heaven. Oh, yeah, he's in for a rude surprise. He may not be going. Please tell me he won't. Who knows? But it doesn't look good. God is not mocked at all. And many of these narcs, now we'll know when we get to heaven. I don't want anybody to go to hell, but the fact is, many of them aren't going to make it to heaven. Why? Because they think they know the Lord and they do not. Jesus talks about that in the New Testament, some of the most chilling words in the New Testament. You thought you knew me and you did not. He takes behavior very seriously and abuse very seriously. And someone who will abuse their spouse over not just weeks and months, which is bad enough, but years and decades with no empathy and no compassion, in fact, enjoys torturing the spouse and the kids, that person, how can they be a Christian? I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. This is this lady about the parents again. Yeah, parents can be narcs too. Oh my goodness. Tried to make boundaries, have called them out, but they gaslighted me. Yeah, okay, they're falling right down the line with narcissism. They have even abused her cat. For heaven's sake, these people are monsters. Wow. You know what? You reach a point, this dear soul, where you have to cut them off. And that's biblical, as we saw in 2 Timothy 3. You know what? You reach a point, I'm done. Until and unless you repent and you get help and you respect my boundaries, which they're not going to do, I'm done. And I think you've reached that point. This lady lived up to 32 years of marriage. That's long enough. That's for sure. Oh my goodness. At last at peace. Good for you. That's a freedom story. Working to build a new life. Good. Take some time. Thank you for sharing the information. Glad to do it, Yvette. You know what? Yes. 32 years. That's enough. Absolutely. I will occasionally talk to women on the phone and some men who've been married only 6 months or 18 months or 2 years, and they're being abused and they realize it thanks to maybe some of my podcasts or videos or books and YouTube, and they get out. And I say, yes, do it sooner rather than later. Which book is the best for going through a divorce after 22 years with a malignant narc? I got the book for you. You name it, I got a book for it. Escaping Your Narcissist. You're going to go through a divorce. You're going to have to get ready, and this will get you ready step by step. Very specific, very detailed. Absolutely. And frankly, many of you have helped me write this book because of your experiences. That's why my material resonates, because I'm not making it up. Of course, I've worked for almost 40 years with narcissism and the effects of it, and working with the victims and the narcs themselves. No more working with the narcs, but I've seen enough of it. But the input I get from my community is awesome, and it resonates because it's real. 39 years of marriage, she got out. Very good for you, Sadie. Yes. Still going through the divorce after 2.5 years. Oh my goodness, exactly. 2.5 stinking years. These narcs will drag it out as long as they can to exact maximum pain. Get the Escaping Your Narc book. It'll help you. It can tend to speed up the process. They want to make you suffer. How do you know that you've healed after divorcing a narc? Not sure if I'm ready to date. Great question, Linda. I got a book for you. Absolutely, I do. I didn't want a divorce. Oh, yes. This is going to get you healthy. You take these steps in this book, take you 3 to 5 months. You're going to be good to go. You're going to heal from all the pain in your life, literally, not just the narc. And then you're going to get ready to date again because God very likely has someone for you. Well, here's a good one. I know that my daughter is married to a narc. Many of you are in that situation. Oh, yeah. Yep. How do I talk to her about it? Okay, very carefully. What you're going to do if your kid is married a narc, I've got a book for that too. It's called Adult Children Who Break Your Heart. Get that book. That book's going to lay out what you do. I cover adult prodigals in many categories, and one of those categories is your kid married a narc, a nasty, abusive narc, and is like still with him. Okay. What you're going to do, and there's some steps to take initially in terms of how the child was raised, and you're sorry for this, and you ask for forgiveness, and then you confront them in their sin, which is they're staying with the narc, which frankly is sinful, and with all the destruction it's causing, free country. And what you're going to do though, you're going to cut the narc off. You're going to say to your daughter when you're ready, after the initial steps in Adult Children Who Break Your Heart, you're going to say, "Look, sweetheart," and you'll be very clear about this. And if you're married, be a team on this, if at all possible. We will have nothing to do with your husband. We believe he's a narcissist. We know we've told you that. We won't bring it up again, frankly, but we're through with him. He's not welcome in our home. We will not speak to him ever again for any reason. You and the kids, if he has kids, are always welcome. Family trips, coming over for holidays. He's not. We will not go to your home. We're done. You have to draw the line. So it'll put her in a situation where she's forced to choose the narc or you. Now, initially, she'll choose the narc. No question. but you've made it harder for her. If you play the game of putting up with the narc and his shenanigans, you're enabling. Draw the line. I'm done. We're not having anything to do with him. It may take several years, which is brutal. So be it. It'll actually speed her departure. Yeah, my husband doesn't even know he's a narc. I'm sure he doesn't. Yeah, it's sad. Separated now, and he's realizing it's going to be permanent because sadly, as much as I love him, I can't go back to it. No, you don't. And I'll tell you this too. This may seem kind of harsh. You don't love him. You don't love a narc. You love what he could be. You love the potential. You don't love that monster. I do not believe that. And you'll begin to see that as you read the books and even look at the video series, the new video series. You're going to get out of that. And we're going to take care of that love. Yeah, being with the narc is a constant battle. It costs you everything. It absolutely does. Everything. Your physical health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, your relationship with your children. Your children are gummed up and messed up for years because you stayed too long. You know what? If you've stayed a long time, you can still get out. It's always a good idea to leave. And even with adult children who may have turned on you, even they can come back once you draw the line and you're done. Let's see what's happening on TikTok over here. We're having a good time here. Oh yeah, everybody thinks my narc is amazing. Oh, don't they? Oh, for heaven's sake. He's a hero. He's a savior. He cuts wood for widows. He helps little old ladies across the street. He's serving on the church finance committee. He does the church's lawn. He helps everybody except you. He's destroying, but everybody loves him. So when you draw the line and you leave him and you take your kids and you leave, you're going to be seen as nuts. What's the matter with Betty? I can't believe Dan's the greatest guy in the world. No, he's not. Don't waste your breath on those people. They don't get it. God knows the truth. You know the truth. Dr. Narc knows the truth. And your support team, those that get it, will be on your side. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody thinks I'm crazy. Yeah, I know. You're not. He's the crazy one. I have many ladies, especially, who call me and they'll say, well, I'm not sure if he's the narc. I think maybe I'm the narc. And I say, that's classic narc behavior, accusing you of being a narc. He'll find he'll make up stuff, but he'll find crazy things that prove that you're selfish, you're crazy, you're out of line. Well, that's ridiculous. I say, no, you're the codependent. That's true. We can fix that. We can't fix the narc. He's the narc. Yeah. My narc wants to destroy me, Sandra says. Absolutely he does. And won't be happy until he does. If you just die, he would really be happy because then he'd get all the attention in the world. Or if he got sick. I've had these poor ladies that break down physically and they haven't built a support team. And now they're forced to rely upon the narc to care for them. Oh, and the guy gets mileage out of that when he's actually caused the problem. Don't end up in that situation. I would die under a bridge before I let a narc near me in terms of my care. You don't want to be in a hospital bed with the narc that hates your guts standing by the plug. No. Get out well before then. Okay. Brenda endured 8 years of abuse. Yep. Oh, good. She says, this queen, speaking of herself, talking about chess, just had a checkmate. Good. She's winning. She's starting to do her own podcast. Good for you. I refuse to say I'm a victim. That's exactly right. You start off a victim, but if you go through Dr. Clarke's program, of course, with God's help, he's the one that gets it done. You're not going to be a victim. You're going to be an overcomer. Yes, and you can win. Just getting away from the narc is a tremendous victory. Oh, yeah. Here's a narc that's a star at Bible study. Oh, my goodness. They will read the word. I know pastors who are narcs. They're brilliant. Or Bible study leaders, Sunday school teachers, small group leaders. Oh, the presentations are beautiful. They're flawless. They're theologically accurate. But you drive home with that dirt ball and he tears you apart. Baloney. He's winning. He'll win the PR battle, but God knows different. And there'll be a time he'll be exposed, if not in this world, in the next. Good for you. Look at this. I believe you, Anita. I believe he's totally responsible for me having to have a hysterectomy. Oh, yeah. You name the physical disorder. I don't care what it is. Cancer, kidney problems, gastrointestinal problems, vision problems, hysterectomy, all kinds of female problems. The stress on the body was not meant to endure that. He is destroying you. Save yourself. Yeah, this is good, Diane. You're right. Everything my narc accuses me of doing is actually a confession of his own misbehavior. Exactly. He puts everything back on you that he's guilty of. You're crazy. No, you're not. He's crazy. He'll say, you're abusive. No, you're not. He is. You're a liar. No, no, he's the liar. You're controlling, which is a joke. He's controlling. But the narc actually believes his own lies. He is selling this because he believes it. Well, it's ridiculous. You have to fight back. And again, you don't dialogue with the dirtball. Maybe a few 20 lies gets into getting a voice and having some snappy one-liners here and there, especially in front of the kids to protect your relationship with them. But you're not going to rant and rave and get into an argument with them. But you're gonna be able to disagree with him and start getting your voice and realize he's the nutty one. Get away from him. You're not going to convince him of anything. I want to leave him, Samantha says. He doesn't call me names anymore. I forget what she's saying here. But yeah, you should leave him. He stopped the name. Sometimes narcissists have a way of shifting tactics. Talked to a lady a few days ago whose narc was a rager. He'd yell, he'd scream. He had a health scare or something happened. I think she was about to leave him as well, and he kind of panicked and so he's dropped the rage, but the narcissism comes out in other ways, all the other covert ways, silent treatment. Disrespect, turning the kids against her. It's just the same stuff. It's just a different version of it because they never, I'm just telling you, virtually never change. Do you always recommend the wife kids leave the home instead of the narc? Frankly, yes, only because they won't leave. My family lives 6 hours away. I moved to a small town where he grew up. I don't want to remove my 2 young kids from home. I know you don't, but here's the deal. Very few narcs will leave the home. And legally, in almost every state in the union, barring a protection order, you can't get them to leave. Of course he should leave. He should leave and jump off a cliff, but he's not going to do that. He's going to stay because he knows legally he can, and he wants to torture you. So the fact is, at least temporarily, with the right attorney helping you, you're not giving up your rights to the home. Oh no, and it could be you're moving back there one day. But you know what? You virtually almost always have to leave. I've had a few cases where the narc does leave, rare. And guess what? Even if they leave, unless you own the home, if the home's in your name, you can change the locks and keep that dirt ball out forever. But if you don't, if he owns the home too, he can come back whenever he jolly well wants to, and that puts you at risk. So leaving actually is protective. Going to family, going to a place where he can't get in is probably the best idea. I know it's ridiculous. Of course he should leave. He's not going to. This is, boy, what a witch. See, here's the wife that's the narc. My wife divorced me because I have Parkinson's. Oh my goodness. She never wanted to talk about it. Now that is a witch. It's for better or for worse. If you get some disease, you in a normal person, that's the deal. You take care of that person as long as you need to, lovingly. Well, you're better off without this witch. I'm just telling you, sir. Even though it hurts, it's a deep wound. You can heal. Man alive. Yeah, and you're helping each other, which is good. Good for you. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This guy's got a new supply. When they're done with you and you're done with them, they'll find a new supply. Of course they will. He has a very nice woman, recently widowed. Oh man, she's in for a nightmare. She has no clue what she just married. Boy, you're not kidding. She'll find out. You might get a call from her at some point. Take the call and say, you know what? I couldn't warn you. I can't warn every woman in the world. Get out. He's not going to change. You can. It's a ministry. If this woman that he's fooled, calls you, help her out and help her get out. Oh yeah, gray rock. Yeah, that's Stacy wants to know what that is. That's a technique that you do want to employ with a narc. It's shutting down, it's pulling back. It's like a gray rock is why there's just nothing, neutral, no response. You don't give the narc anything to play with. You shut down. That'll drive him nuts, which is also kind of entertaining and helpful. We give him back. It's a form of silent treatment. You don't give him any response because he always wants drama, always wants conflict, always wants you to be upset. You know what? No, gray rock is a good idea. It's part of the emotional distancing that you need to do. Yeah, yeah. My boyfriend slamming doors and throwing things is abuse. It absolutely is abuse. He doesn't have to touch you at all to be physically abusive and emotionally abusive for sure. Normal people don't do that. Maybe once a year or so, slamming doors and yelling, making threats. No, that's abuse, and you won't tolerate it. And you anger management problem, who cares? Get away from him. That is a euphemism for an abuser. Get away from that person. If they want to solve their anger problem and win you back, super. Go for it. I doubt that's going to happen. Randy left at 35 years. Long time, Randy, for heaven's sake. Separated 3 years, then divorced him. Okay, for 4 years. Yeah, love bombed her during the pandemic and she was fooled. I know. I guess she remarried him. Oh, for heaven's sake. I know. He was nice for about 6 months and then went back. I know. After 2 years, I'm trying to get him to leave. You know what, Randy? You're going to have to divorce him again. God has, I'm telling you, no problem with that. Yes, you were fooled. Don't beat yourself up too much over that. They're awfully good at what they do. And you want to believe it. And the narc knows just what to say to you. He actually knows the desires of your heart. Every single one of them doesn't care, but knows what they are. And he files those away. And then when you're ready to leave and he doesn't want to get divorced, not that he loves you, he'll bring out, well, I'll do this for you, and 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 I'll do this for you. And that's music to your ear. Then he will sell it. It's a lie, a pack of lies. Don't believe a word of it. Randy, you can get out again. Divorce him again. Never look back. Yes. This lady's recommending this one lady get a tire lawyer to defend you. Absolutely. Stop with the penny waste, pathetic weemises of attorneys, and they're everywhere, and they're Christians often. You know what? Don't bother. The best attorney always wins. That's the system we have. You don't have to like it. That's the way it is. You want to get the toughest, meanest, gutter-fighting attorney that your money can buy. It will cost you more, but it will actually save you in the long run. It doesn't go 2.5 years, 3 years, 4. I've had people 5, 6 years drag through the courts. You know what? No. If you got a passive attorney, fire him, fire her, move on. It's already cost you money. You can't get it back, whatever. You move on and you get the right attorney and we get the ball rolling. It's absolutely essential. This lady is sharing my books with others. Good for you. I'm still in the middle of the divorce. Yeah, boy, sorry for that. But because of your books, I can handle it. Good for you. I'm trying to give you the strength to do it. I know what to expect, and that gives me the upper hand. Exactly. I know narc. That's why they call me Dr. Narc. I had a phone, I think it was a social media person that referred to me as Dr. Narc, and I like that. So we're going with it. Yeah, I know narcs, and I can help you get ready for what's to come. Before, during, and after divorce, because they don't stop after divorce. They never stop. These people are relentless. But as you gray rock and you get free from them and you live your life and you don't respond to them and you act like you don't care what they're doing, it's no fun for them and they will move on. They never stop, but you can really mute that. When they're having no impact, well, no fun for them. Yeah, using your love to get what they want. Exactly. And they know just how to do it. Yeah, boy. Cheating, acting defensive and denial. Oh, yeah. And many narcs will be cheaters. Absolutely. Emotional affairs, physical adultery, prostitutes. There's always a skank at the office. Every office has a few skanks. You know they do. And he'll find them and they play. You know what? No. No. Now, if a normal man, I've worked with normal couples for years. We're kind of out of that lane now, obviously, but a normal man or woman has an affair, terrible mistake, so sorry, not a narc, I can't believe, and truly repentant, you can heal from that completely and it never happens again. That's never true with a narc. The affair you know about is only the one you know about. He'll never tell you the truth. He will deny it until his grave. He'll blame you for it and he'll have more. Oh, he'll promise he won't do it again. He's lying. They never stop. There aren't enough women for your basic narc. And these women will play. He won't marry him, maybe. Some he will, but he'll play with them. Here's one. Mine found a skank at the office. Oh my goodness. They're on every street corner. And these skanks are so nasty. I've dealt with them on occasion. These are not normal women, by the way, or even men. Male skanks are out there too. They love the game. They actually enjoy that you're married and they're enticing your husband away from you. I mean, they're sick. Absolutely sick. You tell your narc, you can have all the skanks in the world. Go ahead. I'm done with you. I'm moving on. Sleep with whoever you want. Yeah. Oh, why a narc has affairs and cheats. I think I just said it, Amy. That's what they do. One woman is never enough. And they love, of course, part of it's attention. Part of it is getting their needs met. You know, the early part of a relationship, even with a skank, okay, the skank will be nice to you. Maybe you've got money. You're taking her out to eat. These skanks will take anything. Free tickets to a ball game. Oh, they love that kind of thing. And it makes them feel special. Really, skanks are narcs too. And so the attention, of course, the sex, the pleasure, that's why. And they have no moral compass. They have no morals at all. They could care less. This is how the world works, and the world doesn't care. Satan loves it. God says, okay, big mistake, big sin, and you can get divorced for it. Oh, here's a good, this is good from Christina. Her narc came home one day and was mad at her for telling the girl he was talking to not to talk to him anymore. Oh, for heaven's sake. Yeah, classic. How dare you tell my skank not to talk to me? How you break me up? You know what? Enough. This is the guy that you leave. You don't tell him you're leaving, but you get your secret plan together. A la enough is enough, and you leave, and you don't look back. Yeah, Lena's exactly right. Narcs are evil. They're damaged people, no question. They are selfish, absolutely selfish, 100%. They are entitled. They justify their lies. All true. This is not a normal person we're dealing with. And you know what? I could care less, and you should care less. And frankly, God cares less why they are who they are. Family of origin, only child, baby, abuse, who cares? They are the way they are. I wouldn't spend a minute of my time trying to understand why he's the way he is. You need to know you've got a narc on your hands, and I can help you with that with the books and a phone advice session. And then you get away, and you've got to heal. Do not try to help him fix his problems, because knowledge doesn't help you in terms of why he's that way. The knowledge you need is, I'm married to a narc. I'm getting out. That's your knowledge. Yeah, another marriage that ended because of alcohol. Oh, yeah. It's like having a mistress. It's a form of adultery. Any addiction, whether it's sex addiction, alcohol, drugs, gambling. I talked to a lady just recently whose husband, without her knowledge, fancied himself. They both have great jobs. They had no debt. This idiot ended up with sinking hundreds of thousands of their money. He thought it was his money into this stupid investment. They've lost it all. They're looking at bankruptcy in the face. That's financial abuse. And you know what? He's not even sorry. I told this lady, get away from him. Protect your assets. He's not done doing it. He's going to do it again. This is a gambling addiction. Gamblers always double and triple down and quadruple down. He's going to make some other stupid thing to try to make up for the money he lost because he's an idiot and a financial abuser. Get away from him. He will bankrupt you. You'll be living in a double-wide trailer the rest of your life if you're lucky. No. They don't think about retirement. They think that they're always going to score and they're going to hit it big. You know how I love Dave Ramsey. He's very blunt like I am. And he's got the right idea. It takes 30, 40 years of careful saving and paying off your debt and working at your job to achieve some level of wealth. That's how you do it. It doesn't happen overnight with some stupid scheme. Forget it. What does it look like when a narc is mortified, when they have a collapse? I think mine had one. Lena, it's bogus. I am telling you, they are wonderful actors. I've never met a narc who actually had a collapse. Now, they can pretend they have a collapse. Dissolving the tears you'll hear, the pours out of them. I'm so ashamed, and blubbering like a baby. And you start thinking, wow, maybe this looks like repentance. No. You don't buy a word of it. And you can actually say to them, I'm not buying this act. And they'll turn on you like a snake. If after 5 months, he's still crying and he still feels bad and he's taken a number of steps you'll find in these books, especially in Enough is Enough book, okay, you might begin to believe it. Do not believe the mortifying collapse. Baloney. Not true. Divorcing one now. Good for you, Shannon. Yep. Yeah, she's good. Save all of your texts and proof. Oh, yeah. So they can destroy themselves in court. Exactly. We cover that in Escaping Your Narcissist. And the right attorney will know what to suggest. You document everything, every threatening text, every episode of verbal abuse and any physical threat, all of it, and what they're doing with the kids and all the financial things. You have to get all the records. I go over this step by step in escaping your narc. Oh yeah, you need to be ready for court. And many times, since the narc's reputation means so much to him, um, if it may not be something that's legal or it can be used against him in terms of a divorce, but he might not want it to come out in open court or be in the record. You have a narc that has a job and you know that he's falsified his taxes or he's done something else nefarious or illegal on his job. That is called leverage, and your attorney's hopefully smart enough to use it. This isn't a nice process. You got to be ugly and mean to get the job done. If you're nice, you lose and you're devastated. Advice to male victims of female narcs. Oh yeah, same thing, Christina. Yeah, Christine, exactly. I have guys that write in all the time, and I'm always talking about the narc being the man. Well, okay, 80% of the time it is, but 20% of the time, if not 25, it's the female who's the narc. My principles in all these books and in the online video series, hopefully you'll get, it's the same. It's the same thing. These female narcs are just as bad. They're just witches. They're horrible. In many cases, they're not just narcissistic, they're borderline. And they will rip your heart to shreds, and they love drama, 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 drama. Okay, so it's the same advice. It's a good point. What can you use against a narc in court? Excellent question. All kinds of things. Now, it depends on your state. That's why you have to have the right attorney. Certain things can be used, certain things can't be. In certain states, you can use video of the narc ranting and raving and throwing things. Certain states you can't. Certain states you can use audio recordings. Okay, find out. That's your attorney's job. What kind of leverage? What do I have to develop? And before he knows you're divorcing him, ideally, as I say in this book, if you can, you're prepared and you've got a whole portfolio on your phone or video, whatever, of documented illegal activity or whatever. If you're married to a narc that is using illegal drugs, you're turning his butt in. If you have to, that's leverage. He won't want that to happen. Maybe he's got a job where that wouldn't, he'd get fired. So be it. And you would say, well, Dave, that hurts me too. I like him to keep that job. No, it's leverage. And you have to use it. Yeah, playing the victim. Oh, narcs love to play the victim, and they're masters at it. Oh, yeah. He doesn't deserve this treatment. Oh, of course they don't. If you bring up anything, any criticism, any need of yours, any opinion that disagrees with the narc, covert or overt, you're not going to get a very receptive response, are you? Many of you know that. Silent treatment or rage or shut up, because your different opinion or need threatens him and his way of life. You've disturbed it. Well, that's ridiculous. That's not normal. Sandy, my wonderful blonde, my job is to love her, to treat her like a queen. I don't always do, but I try as much as I can. Now, she's a very outspoken woman, so we don't have any problem knowing what Sandy wants. But my job is to, and sometimes I'm just telling you, she has a tone when she approaches me. Well, so what? This is my wonderful woman. She's birthed 4 of our children. All right. Well, we only have 4, all 4, and has raised them and supports me at the office. She has done, I don't know how many things for me. She's beautiful. She loves me. She'll rub my feet. Look, this is my woman. So if she has a tone, who cares? And I will take care of what she needs. That's my job. In return for all she's done. Are you kidding me? Of course, my job is to love her as Christ loved the church. The narc knows nothing about that. No. The narc loves himself only. So we got going on over here. How can you tell if your partner is a narc? Yeah. Niall, this is why I wrote this book. Enough is Enough. Absolutely. This is the book for you. The first 6 chapters of Enough is Enough, I specifically and in a very detailed way define narcissism, because I'm not going to be accused of calling somebody a narc without solid evidence. In all my phone advice sessions, I take a thorough history, and I'll be able to tell you with certainty, 45 minutes. In fact, less than that, 30 minutes, whether you're living with a narc or you're not. Very important to know. So there are symptoms, and they're right here. And narcs always have the same symptoms. All right. It's like they go to a narc camp when they're 10 years old and they learn, or 20, and they learn how to be a narc. And it's the same dumb playbook. Dr. Clark knows the playbook. Dr. Narc does. Yeah, this guy put me in such debt. She says, David, he put me in such debt. Oh, for heaven's sake. I know. Get out while the getting is good, because they're not stopping. And that's the worst kind of lying. It's just as bad as cheating. When you find out 20,000, 30,000 in Las Vegas or some stupid investment, or he buys some stupid car that you don't want. I talked to a lady, I think it was last week. Her husband has parked some broken down old race car in her garage. Well, their garage. Are you kidding? What woman, normal wife, would want that? I said, you're normal. It shouldn't be there. Of course, that was the tip of the iceberg. Come on. Yeah, this lady says, let the house go. Yeah, you have to let the house go. Yeah, the narc will never be happy. They are literally never happy. There's momentary periods when they feel like they're happy, but it's like a bucket with a hole in it. It's just never ending. They want more and more and more and more. Did you ever watch the movie? Humphrey Bogart's my favorite actor, and he and Lauren Bacall and Edward G. Robinson were in a movie, Key Largo, and Edward G. Robinson plays Johnny somebody, and he's a gangster, and he classic narc. And in one of the scenes, Bogey asks him, "Well, what's going to be enough? What's going to be enough?" And he says, "I'll never have enough. I want more. I want more and more." Well, exactly. They never are satisfied. That's why you'll never be enough for them. You can kill yourself, as the church, many churches would have you do. Kill yourself, meeting his needs, being patient, biting your tongue, sacrificing your health to love him and meet his needs. And the church will tell you, he'll change, sweetheart. He'll be different. He'll love you. Lie, lie, lie. And frankly, it's a stupid lie. They're not living in the real world. It's never worked with a narc because it's never stinking enough. Stop. You start thinking of yourself and taking care of yourself and getting the heck away from him. She killed my love of music. Oh my goodness. Yep. Here's a female narc. They will, and this is a narc, they know what you love and they'll take that from you. You love your children? Of course you do. Female or male narc, they will take your kids from you. That's evil, but they know that's what you love. You love music, they'll take that from you. You love any kind of a sport or an activity, going to the gym, they'll take that from you. You love crafts, they'll destroy your crafts or find a way to keep you from doing what you want to do. And you know what? The narc will always do what he wants to do or she wants to do. That's a different story. But they'll rob you of the very thing you love. No normal spouse would ever do that. My wonderful Sandy loves craft. She's so creative. If you saw her home, you'd be amazed. She puts things together. She changes things. I just let her go. I don't notice much, but I know how beautiful it is. She creates things. Our daughter Leanne's the same way, very creative. Andrew, her husband, who's a great Coast Guard guy, he lets her do that. Why? Because he loves her, and I love Sandy. This is what she loves to do. I want to support her in that. Sandy spent so many years raising our kids and couldn't do things she wanted to do. Of course, it was worth it because she's raising the kids, but now she can do things. And we actually have some money finally, and she can do remodeling. Yeah, let her go. That's because I'm normal most of the time. Oh, here, yeah, this is classic. This narc wanted her to be an influencer. And once she started getting a social media following, he got jealous and he belittled her. Classic. Don't ever, if you're married to a narc, how dare you let your light shine brighter than his? Oh, disaster. When a normal husband and a normal wife wants their partner to shine and to be noticed and to be loved and to get attention in healthy ways, the narc can't stand it. They will not stand in the shadow. Oh, no, 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 no. Yeah, here's an narc that says he's not going to change because he knows it's what I want. Exactly. Normal people don't talk that way. It's ridiculous. Yeah, brother. Yeah, and of course, another alcoholic. He's not going to change. Of course not. Stop trying to get him to change. Let him drink himself to death. That's his problem. It's out of your hands. Move on. Yes, this lady dreams of having a man that enjoys her company and lets me shine if I want to. Oh, Christina, it's what every woman wants. Look, I don't have to work at it. I love Sandy. I always have from the first time I laid eyes on her. I thought that's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. And then when I got to know her, it was like, whoa, she's the whole package. I still don't know how I got her. And I wanted to be happy and I wanted to be successful because I'm a normal person. Because when she's happy, I'm happy. And that's just normal stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah, here's the famous line. You're right, Marcy. No one will ever love you as much as he loves me. Yeah, right. You know what? Right. The narc actually thinks, because they're crazy, you'll never find somebody like me. And the answer should be, yeah, I hope not. Oh, please, God, I hope I don't. But they really believe they're a wonderful husband. And it's a privilege for you, ma'am, an unbelievable privilege from the gates of heaven to be allowed to share space with this man, sleep in the same bed. Are you kidding? Oh, they're nuts. When quite the opposite is true. It's like being thrown into a cage in the zoo with a gorilla, and you're forced to adjust and do whatever the gorilla wants. And he's a nasty gorilla. Look, I'm telling you, it's that bad. And frankly, there's more hope for the gorilla than there is for the narc. Yeah, everything's a competition. Oh, yes. Her narc is upset every time she was complimented by somebody else. Are you kidding? That would be wonderful. That's ridiculous. But see, they can't share the spotlight and they have to be better, have to be better, have to be better. That's not normal behavior. They're not even close. Ultimate dirtball. I should get a t-shirt. Ultimate dirtball. Yes. Yeah, boy. No more, thank God, says Helen. Exactly right. Enough. Enough of the narc. Oh, yeah, the narc will tell you, you have to earn love. You have to earn their respect. Well, guess what? That's how the game is played. You're never going to be able to make it because you're never good enough. Again, you can kill yourself. You're never going to be good enough. Blessed to be 1 year out. Good for you, Elena. 1 year of freedom. Beautiful. I'll bet she has her health back. And just peace. Getting up in the morning. Not having to share space with a dirtball who's destroying you is like wonderful. Even if it's a small efficiency apartment, who cares? You're better off. Can they change? No. I'm just telling you right now, right to the camera, N-O, no. I've had 3 or 4 in 40 years change that were narcs. And frankly, even those 4 or 5, 3 or 4, they weren't really full blown. I'm just telling you, don't expect it. Nothing's ever their fault. So how could they change? It's your fault. Quiet and peaceful, Elena says, yes, the quiet, the peace. The garage door goes up and your stomach doesn't have to clench. Narcs are brilliant at being unpredictable. They can be nice out of nowhere and treat you like a queen because they want something. They want sex. They want to get a new car. They want to get a new toy. Or they want to look good to other people because when you're around other people, oh, the holding the hands, the brushing of the hair. Look, it's not about you. They could care less. It could be Barbie, but it's for them. But they'll turn on a dime over the dumbest thing, over nothing at all, and just rip your living head off. The back, the forth, the nice, the evil. You know what? It'll make you crazy. Get away from it. Oh my goodness. Diarrhea for over a decade and couldn't figure out why. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm going to get a t-shirt. Narcs cause diarrhea. They absolutely do. And there isn't a toilet that can handle it. I'm telling you, get out. Oh, for heaven's sake. And the diarrhea is better now. I'm telling you. Yeah. Purge your system. We could do a lot with diarrhea. We won't go there. Yeah. How to co-parent with a narc. Oh my goodness. You know what? You don't. I think you'll find the adult children book helpful. Adult Children Who Break Your Heart, very helpful. In fact, a book by my dear friend, Laurel Slade Wagoner. That's Slade, S-A-L-A-D-E Wagoner, W-A-G-G-O-N-E-R, has written, I think, a brilliant book. Don't let their crazy make your kids crazy. And this is a wonderful book that will help you teach your kids how to manage the narc and how to manage the narc the best way you can while you have to parent with the person, even if you're divorced. I don't want you co-parenting with them. You're leaving. And the act of leaving itself, which was my focus and my emphasis, of course, my priority, right there, you're ahead of the game. Because now in your home, you can control in a godly way what they take in and how you teach them. And when they're at his house, okay, you can't, but you're still better off even half the time. But check out Laurel Slade Wagoner's website and get that book for the parenting piece. That's not really my expertise. Here's a narc parent. Again, another cat abused my cat. And where you can get arrested for that. Hey, see, state law. Beautiful. I'm calling the cops on my narc parent. What kind of person attacks a cat anyway? Oh yeah, call the cops. Have them carted away in handcuffs as you're holding your cat. I like that picture. Do it. Very good. Some states, I guess that's a thing. Beautiful. Abusing an animal, it should be a crime. It's crazy to say, but in many states, I guess you might have a state where you can abuse an animal and that's a crime, but emotionally abusing your spouse isn't. That's our crazy, stupid, messed up joke of a legal system. That's why you have to get an attorney who knows the ins and outs, knows how the game is played. And I'm telling you, it is a game. It's a big, fat, stupid game. But you have to know somebody who knows the rules and can navigate and get you out. Oh yeah, yeah. This is classic. Uh, this lady asked her narc about a phone number she saw on his phone, of course, and he threatened to divorce her. Well, it's obviously a woman's, a skank's number, and all of a sudden they'll threaten divorce on you. You know what? You want to say back, promise? Really? Go ahead. Here's the number for the courthouse, or an attorney. He's not going to do that. Probably, if he would, great, but he's probably not going to do that. But again, if you can, some states, if you can find evidence, I'm trying to think of, it might be North or South Carolina. Maybe somebody knows who can tell us here in a few minutes. We're almost done. But in some states, adultery is a crime, or not a crime, but it can be used in a court of law in a legal process. Okay, gather the information, and that is your leverage. You want this not to come out in court? Okay, make me a deal. That's how the process works. Well, look, time always flies. 8:32. We have to shut this show down. Thank you so much. Don't forget about the brand new online video series, The Freedom from Your Narc Journey. I think it's going to be very powerful and help a lot of people. God's going to use it. The blonde and I going on vacation in a bit. We'll be gone at the beach for 2 weeks because the blonde loves the beach, and so do I. And so we'll come back. After that, we'll do another live stream. Stay tuned. Just go to the website, davideclarkphd.com, Clark with an E. And you can subscribe. If you subscribe to the website, you'll get all the information about the live streams and all the special events we do. Okay? Thanks for your participation. And get away from those narcs.